The morning air was cool when the police officer named Sam stepped out of his car near the old Market Street. Sam had worked this area for years and knew every shop and corner by heart. People respected him because he listened more than he spoke and helped without expecting praise. As he adjusted his cap and began his foot patrol, he noticed a small puppy sitting near a closed bakery door. The puppy was thin with light brown fur and eyes that seemed too serious for such a small body. Sam paused for a moment and smiled softly because animals always reacted kindly to him. He walked past the bakery and continued down the street thinking the puppy would stay where it was. After a few steps he heard soft paws tapping on the road behind him. When he looked back, the puppy was following at a careful distance. Sam stopped and bent slightly, calling the puppy in a gentle voice. The puppy froze for a second, then sat down and tilted its head. Sam laughed quietly and stood straight again, deciding to continue his patrol. As he walked, the puppy followed again, keeping the same small distance. The street slowly came alive with shop owners opening doors and cleaning sidewalks. Some people noticed the puppy trailing behind the officer and smiled at the sight. Sam tried ignoring it at first, believing the puppy would lose interest soon. He turned a corner near the bus stop and slowed his pace. The puppy followed without hesitation, its tiny legs working hard to keep up. Sam stopped again and knelt, this time reaching out his hand. The puppy moved back a step but did not run away. Its eyes stayed fixed on Sam as if waiting for something. Sam noticed a small scar near the puppy's ear and felt a sudden pinch in his chest. He stood up again, unsure of what to do, and resumed walking. The puppy followed once more, never barking, never whining, just walking. As the morning grew warmer, Sam's thoughts began to wander. He remembered his first year on the force when everything felt heavy and uncertain. Back then he often walked alone after shifts, thinking about life and choices. Seeing the puppy now brought back those quiet memories. He wondered where the puppy came from and why it was alone. Stray animals were not uncommon in this area, but this one felt different. It walked with purpose, not fear, and not hunger. Sam slowed his steps and the puppy slowed too. When Sam stopped, the puppy stopped as well. It felt less like following and more like matching his movements. Sam decided to test the strange behavior. He crossed the street toward a small park near the river. The puppy crossed too, carefully watching the traffic like it understood danger. Sam's heart softened at the sight. He walked toward the benches under the trees and sat down. The puppy approached slowly and sat a short distance away. Neither moved for a moment. The river made quiet sounds in the background and birds moved above them. Sam looked at the puppy and spoke softly, asking where it came from. The puppy did not move, but its ears lifted slightly. Sam sighed and leaned back, staring at the sky. People passed through the park. Some noticed the pair and smiled. A woman stopped and asked if the puppy belonged to Sam. Sam shook his head and said no in a calm voice. The woman nodded and walked away, glancing back once more. The puppy stayed where it was, watching Sam closely. Sam stood up after a few minutes, knowing he had to continue his patrol. As soon as he stood, the puppy stood too. When Sam walked, the puppy followed again. This time Sam felt a strange weight settle in his chest. He walked toward the river path, which was usually quiet during the day. The sound of the city faded slightly as trees lined the path. Sam walked slower now, allowing the puppy to stay closer. The puppy did not try to touch him but stayed near his side. Sam noticed the puppy's fur moved gently with each step. He wondered how long the puppy had been alone. He wondered who might have cared for it before. A feeling he could not name began to grow inside him. As they reached a bend in the path, Sam stopped suddenly. The puppy stopped too and looked up at him. For the first time the puppy moved closer on its own. It sat directly in front of Sam and lifted its head. Sam felt his throat tighten for reasons he did not understand yet. He knelt down slowly so he would not scare the puppy. The puppy did not move away. Sam noticed something tied loosely around the puppy's neck. It was a thin, worn piece of cloth, barely holding together. Sam reached out carefully and touched it. The puppy stayed still as if trusting him completely. Sam felt a strange chill despite the warm day. The cloth felt familiar, though he could not place why. He stood up slowly, the puppy standing with him. Sam decided to take the puppy with him for now. He walked toward the police station at the end of the path. The puppy followed closely, now no longer keeping distance. With every step Sam felt something heavy building inside him. He did not know yet that this small puppy was leading him toward a truth he had buried deep inside. And as they walked together, Sam felt that this patrol would not end like any other. Sam walked toward the station with the puppy close by his side, and every step felt heavier than the last. The building came into view, and the familiar sounds of radios and voices drifted outside. The puppy slowed near the entrance and looked around as if unsure. Sam stopped and knelt again, speaking in a calm voice, telling the puppy it was safe. The puppy moved closer and sat near his knee. Sam felt something soften inside him, and he stood again, opening the station door. Inside, the station officers looked up with curious smiles. One officer named Ben raised an eyebrow and asked if Sam had found a new partner. Sam gave a small smile and said the puppy had followed him from the market. Another officer offered some water in a small bowl. The puppy sniffed it first, then drank quietly. Sam watched closely, noticing how gentle the puppy was. As Sam filled out a simple report, his mind kept drifting back to the cloth around the puppy's neck. It felt familiar in a way that made his chest feel tight. He tried to focus on his work, but the image of that worn cloth stayed in his thoughts. Ben noticed Sam was distracted and asked if everything was all right. Sam nodded, but did not speak much. The puppy lay down near Sam's feet, resting its head on its paws. A call came in about a missing person report from a nearby neighborhood. Sam listened carefully as details were shared. The description mentioned an elderly man named Tom who had gone missing days ago. Tom was known in the area for feeding stray animals near the river. Sam's heart skipped slightly at the mention of the river. He glanced down at the puppy, who lifted its head as if listening too. Sam volunteered to follow up on the report. Ben agreed and offered to come along. They stepped outside and the puppy stood ready. Ben laughed lightly, saying the puppy looked like it had chosen Sam. Sam did not laugh but nodded quietly. They drove toward the river path where Sam had walked earlier. The puppy sat calmly in the back seat, watching the road. Sam felt a growing sense of worry he could not explain. When they arrived, the area was quiet and still. The river flowed gently just as before. They walked along the path, calling out Tom's name. The puppy suddenly pulled ahead, stopping near a large tree. Sam hurried forward, kneeling beside the puppy. The puppy sniffed the ground and looked toward the water. Sam felt his throat tighten again. Ben noticed footprints near the riverbank. They followed the trail carefully. A small bag lay near the water, half hidden by grass. Sam picked it up slowly. Inside was a folded jacket. Sam recognized the jacket instantly. Memories rushed back to him like a wave. Years ago, during his early days on the force, Sam had helped an elderly man named Tom after a fall near the river. Tom had thanked Sam and shared stories about his life and his love for animals. Sam remembered how Tom always wore that same jacket. His hands trembled slightly as he held it. The puppy walked closer and sat beside Sam, pressing gently against his leg. Sam swallowed hard and stood up. They continued searching with more urgency. A short distance away, they found Tom resting against a rock near the water. He was weak but alive. Sam rushed forward, kneeling beside him. Tom opened his eyes slowly and smiled faintly when he saw Sam. He whispered that he had slipped and could not stand. He said the puppy had stayed with him the whole time. Sam felt tears rise in his eyes. Ben called for medical help immediately. Sam stayed beside Tom, holding his hand. The puppy stayed close, never leaving. Tom reached out and touched the puppy's head gently. He said the cloth around the puppy's neck was part of his old scarf. He said he tied it there so the puppy would not feel alone. Sam closed his eyes for a moment, feeling emotions flood through him. He realized the puppy had followed him because it remembered him. It remembered the man who once helped its owner. The weight in Sam's chest broke open. Medical help arrived and Tom was carefully lifted onto a stretcher. The puppy watched quietly, staying close to Sam. As they loaded Tom into the ambulance, he smiled at Sam once more. He asked Sam to take care of the puppy. Sam nodded, unable to speak. As the ambulance drove away, Sam finally allowed the tears to fall. They were quiet tears filled with relief and gratitude. The puppy pressed against him, offering silent comfort. Sam knelt down, holding the puppy close. In that moment, Sam knew his life had changed. He stood up, wiping his face, and looked at the puppy. He promised softly that it would never be alone again. The puppy looked back with calm, trusting eyes. As they walked back toward the car, Sam felt a sense of purpose stronger than ever. He did not yet know how deeply this bond would shape his future. The days after the river rescue passed slowly for Sam, but nothing felt the same anymore. Every morning he woke earlier than usual and looked down at the puppy sleeping near his door. The puppy had settled into Sam's small apartment as if it had always belonged there. It followed Sam from room to room, quietly watching every movement. Sam felt a steady calm growing inside him that he had not felt in years. Tom recovered at the local clinic, and Sam visited whenever his shifts allowed. Each visit was filled with simple stories and gentle smiles. Tom thanked Sam again and again for staying with him that day. He said the puppy had refused to leave his side even when he told it to go. Sam listened carefully, realizing how strong the bond between them had been. Back at the station, word spread about the rescue. Officers praised Sam, but he brushed it off quietly. Ben noticed the puppy sitting beside Sam during breaks. Ben joked that the puppy looked more alert than some recruits. Sam smiled softly but said little. During patrols, the puppy stayed at the station under watch. Everyone grew fond of it quickly. It greeted officers with calm eyes and gentle steps. Children who visited the station often sat near it and talked softly. The puppy listened as if it understood every word. Sam noticed something else too. The puppy reacted strongly whenever Sam passed near the river area. It slowed its steps and watched the water carefully. Sam felt a deep respect for the loyalty it carried. He began to understand that the puppy had been guarding a memory. One evening after a long shift, Sam walked home with the puppy under a sky filled with quiet stars. The streets were calm and lights reflected softly on the road. Sam felt the need to speak, even though no one asked. He talked about his past, about why he became an officer. The puppy walked beside him, listening without judgment. Sam spoke about his early days on the force. He talked about feeling unsure and overwhelmed. He remembered Tom as one of the first people who treated him kindly. Tom had told him that helping even one life mattered. Sam realized those words had shaped him more than he knew. At home, Sam sat on the floor and the puppy curled beside him. He gently removed the worn cloth from the puppy's neck. He folded it carefully and placed it on the table. The puppy did not resist or move away. It trusted Sam fully. Sam thought about the promise he had made by the ambulance. He knew keeping the puppy was not just kindness but responsibility. He filled out adoption forms the next day. The process was simple because no one else claimed the puppy. Sam signed the papers with steady hands. Life began to settle into a new rhythm. Morning walks replaced silent breakfasts. Sam found himself smiling more often without realizing why. The puppy waited by the door every evening for his return. Those moments filled a quiet space Sam never knew was empty. One afternoon, Sam received a message from the clinic. Tom wished to see the puppy again. Sam agreed without hesitation. They arrived together and Tom's face lit up with joy. The puppy walked straight to Tom and sat by his chair. Tom laughed softly and stroked its head. He said the puppy looked happier now. Sam felt his chest tighten again, but this time with warmth. Tom spoke about his past and how the puppy had appeared one day near his home. He said the puppy followed him everywhere just like now. He admitted he always feared leaving it alone. Sam listened carefully, understanding the circle that had formed. Before leaving, Tom placed his hand on Sam's arm. He thanked Sam for giving the puppy a future. Sam nodded quietly, unable to find the right words. The puppy stayed close as if knowing the moment mattered. On the way home, Sam felt lighter than ever. The puppy looked out the window, ears lifting at passing sounds. Sam realized he was no longer walking alone in life. There was a shared path now built on trust and memory. That night Sam placed the folded cloth in a small frame. He set it near his bed as a reminder. The puppy curled up nearby and slept peacefully. Sam watched quietly, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. He understood now why the puppy had followed him that first morning. It was not by chance or hunger. It was recognition and loyalty and memory. The puppy had known Sam before Sam remembered himself. As Sam drifted to sleep, he felt a quiet certainty. This story was not finished yet. Something greater was still waiting ahead. Time moved forward quietly, but the bond between Sam and the puppy grew stronger with every passing day. The puppy learned Sam's routine and waited by the door each morning without fail. Sam began to take longer walks, choosing calmer streets and open paths. People in the neighborhood noticed the change in him and greeted him with warmer smiles. The puppy walked with confidence, now no longer unsure or distant. At the station, the puppy became a familiar presence. Officers trusted it and spoke to it during breaks. Visitors smiled when they saw the calm animal resting near Sam's desk. Children asked if they could sit beside it, and Sam always said yes. The puppy never showed fear and accepted gentle hands with patience. One afternoon, Sam received news that Tom would soon leave the clinic. Tom planned to move in with a relative closer to care. Sam felt relieved knowing Tom would not be alone anymore. He decided to visit one last time before the move. When Sam and the puppy arrived, Tom was already waiting. His strength had returned, and his smile was brighter than before. The puppy walked toward him and sat quietly at his feet. Tom reached down and held its face gently. He said the puppy had found where it belonged. Sam listened as Tom shared a final story. He spoke about loneliness and how small acts of kindness keep people going. He reminded Sam that caring for others also heals the self. Sam felt those words settle deep inside him. Before leaving, Tom handed Sam a small envelope. Inside was a note written in careful handwriting. The note thanked Sam for being the person he was. Sam folded it slowly, feeling emotion rise again. After that day, Sam noticed a shift in his own heart. He became more open, more patient, more aware. The puppy stayed close through every change. They shared quiet mornings and peaceful nights. One evening during patrol, Sam passed the old bakery where the puppy first appeared. He stopped for a moment and looked around. The memory felt distant yet clear. The puppy stood beside him, tail still, eyes calm. Sam smiled softly, realizing how much had changed since that morning. Sam began volunteering at a local shelter on his days off. The puppy came along and greeted other animals gently. Sam helped find homes for many who needed them. He felt purpose grow stronger with each visit. The puppy seemed happiest during these moments. It moved among others with quiet confidence. Sam believed it understood what it was doing. Together they became a symbol of patience and care. Months passed and seasons changed. Leaves fell and new ones grew again. Sam and the puppy remained steady through it all. Their bond did not need words or promises. One night Sam sat by the window watching rain fall softly. The puppy rested its head on his foot. Sam thought about how close he had come to missing this connection. He realized life often sends help in unexpected forms. He whispered a quiet thank you to no one in particular. The puppy lifted its head and looked at him. Sam smiled and reached down gently. That night Sam slept peacefully, knowing he was no longer alone in any sense. The puppy stayed close, breathing slowly. The world felt kinder and more balanced. The story of the puppy who followed a cop spread quietly through the community. People spoke of loyalty and kindness when they told it. Sam never sought attention for it. He knew the truth lived in simple moments. As time went on, Sam understood why he broke down that day by the river. It was not sadness alone. It was the release of years of weight he never noticed carrying. The puppy had not just followed him. It had guided him back to himself. And that was the reason Sam would always remember.